Hello and welcome to the Counterpoint Podcast. My name is Shadi, here with Burris. And here with Burris.
Hello there, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Counterpoint Podcast.
Yeah. Just a little disclaimer before we start. The game we're playing is called Deceit. And if you play it, we're going to be really bad at it because it's our first time. So, just be ready for that.
Yeah.
And without further ado, let's just dive into some topics. So the first thing I have on my list is the PS4 Pro update, which is relevant to us because we both have PS4s and we both play them at least a moderate amount, and we'll be playing it in the coming weeks as new games release.
And interestingly enough, Shadi here has a PS4 original.
Mm-hmm.
I have a PS4 Pro.
Yeah, so you get a little bit more out of this patch.
Yeah, I feel
namely
it.
the boost mode.
Unfortunately, I really don't have any games that really take advantage of it too much.
I feel like more will come out in the...
No, I feel like new games, the only one I can think of is Persona, but that was built for PS3, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that one is having frame rate issues, then the developers, Atlas, suck. Like, God.
And
I feel like I'm going to die rather soon.
Yeah, so as well in the patch, there's support for external hard drives, which I think is pretty nice. I know you have a terabyte and you don't get as many games as I do.
Yeah.
I have a tendency to get quite a few games.
Yeah, you
and
go ham with the
I've
game.
already filled my 500 gigabytes.
I feel like I'm at like 1/5 capacity, or like 1/5 capacity used.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see myself filling it fairly quickly, so it'll be nice. Along with that are custom
Alright, I
wallpapers.
feel like I'm going to die.
Yeah. Do you
We're
think
gonna die.
you'll use the custom wallpapers?
I'm dead. Hooray.
Well, good for you, buddy.
Ooh. You are dead as well.
No, I'm fine. I'm alive. So the custom wallpapers, do you think you will use one?
No, because you have to take it through the actual game. And I don't want, like, any game. Maybe Final Fantasy 15, maybe, like, a landscape or something.
Yeah.
But really, no. Not at all.
Yeah, I also just kind of like the blue theme. I like the base theme.
I tried putting on the Journey theme for a while, but I got kind of bored of, like, the intense music of what have you,
Yeah. What else was in the patch? Like GIF support, I think, within parties or something like that. Like,
yeah, just GIF support, just in the operating system.
Yeah.
There are a lot of really nice features, but there's not necessarily any features that I found necessary.
Oh, another one is able to change the party status from public to private after the party has been created, which apparently wasn't a thing. Which is a bit odd. A lot of the stuff was like, this should have been in already.
I felt like there were many, many issues with PS Plus, PS Now, whatever you want to call it, that I had.
That's those streaming, right?
I'm gonna die.
Is that
I have died.
Is it the game streaming service? Is that what you're talking about?
Hmm?
You talking about the game streaming service?
No, I'm talking about the actual everything.
Okay, so PlayStation
That makes
Plus.
sense.
Okay.
Like the entire thing. PlayStation Online services.
Okay. PlayStation Plus.
Have always kind of been behind Steam and Xbox Live.
Yeah, they're also like a bit fresher to it, though. At this point, not as much, but Xbox did have a bit of a leg up.
Yeah, for a long time, just because obviously they had that integrated revenue source for almost 10 years.
Oh dear.
So obviously that was a big play on that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm ready to go on to the next topic.
Sure. That is common issues you have when building a PC. So I just, put my new parts into my PC, obviously, and I ran into the same issue that I always run into, or the same mistake I always make. And so I was wondering if you have something that you commonly do wrong.
I have one mistake and one thing that always seems to fuck up on my computers. The big mistake that I always make is that I forget about the operating system until the last moment.
Okay.
And the thing that always seems to fuck up is my power supply always seems to take a shit after about a year. No matter what, I'll buy the most expensive, like $200 power supply. I could buy a $40 power supply, but they all blow up.
Yeah.
It's really quite a shame.
Mine is... actually, first, another fuck up I just realized. I didn't do a sound check before we started recording, so here's hoping.
Yeah. Oh well.
But my fuck up that I always do when I'm building a computer, it's always to do with the cooler. And so I'll just tell you what happened this time. So I got, my Ryzen CPU and the Noctua fan heatsink dealio. And I put my motherboard in the case on the risers, screwed in all the screws, and I was like, oh crap, I still have the base plastic for the stock heatsink on. And I was like, God, I always forget this. And I unscrewed my motherboard and I get ready to take off the plastic, and I'm reading through the Noctua instructions to see what I need to do, and it's like, you can keep the back plate on, you just need to take off the top part. I was like, fuck, I didn't need to take this out. So I re-screw in the motherboard, take off the top part, and put the Noctua fan on. But
yeah, but I think you could have just taken the back off to get the thing on there.
Yeah, I didn't know that this case had an opening to the back plate, because not every case that I've had that opens the back had an opening to the back plate. Some of the times the back is just for cord management that I've seen.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was like, get this one, because it has a lot of features that more expensive cases have.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely nice. Don't get me wrong.
And for the price and for the size, I really you said it. You felt it was too small.
Kind of. There was just unused space, and then some things were too close together. Like my GPU fans are almost touching the SATA power cables that are running to my SSDs, because they...
You're fine.
You've seen the case. So you know that red metal?
No.
No?
No. I'm used to seeing a white NZXT S340.
Okay, well, you know the metal that's inside. The L-shaped metal bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
so the SSDs mount on that.
Yeah.
And the SATA power cable obviously has to run up it.
Not necessarily.
Because the hole's on the side.
You could always run it down through the power supply unit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only hole was on the side, so it just runs very, very close to my graphics card fan. Like, uncomfortably close. But I've had no issues.
One day you're just going to hear a terrible... and it's going to be your graphic... Do you know that's actually what happened to the card I gave you
that's how you broke
6
the
years
fan?
Ago? Yep.
It wouldn't be the worst sound that I
I
heard from my computer, though.
That was a terrible sound.
Yeah, just firecrackers going off inside of it. It's like, oh no. And then just black.
That was your power supply, right?
Yes, that was the power supply. Probably
this is actually
4 years ago now.
Why I kind of upgraded to a PC without like a side fan or any kind of like side thing on it at all. Why I made that choice to getting a more like professional looking case is partially due to the fact that when you take off the side panel, you don't have to worry about like any random cords fucking jamming into your goddamn graphics card fan.
Yeah.
So it's pretty nice.
Yeah. But that's all I had to say on the PC thing. I just thought, I just wondered if you had something similar to what I had.
Honestly, it's just always the operating system. I just forget, and I'm like, fuck. But luckily, I've always had something nearby to use to install an operating system.
Yeah. So the next thing I have, obviously we've talked about it before. I got the Switch. You did not.
Yeah.
And as with so many console releases now, it's a bit bare bones in terms of games that are available.
It's way bare. I think there's only been like 2 consoles ever released in history. It's bare bones with the Switch has.
Yeah, it's pretty dead. But I was wondering if you had any games that if you had a Switch you would like to see, or games you at least think are suited for the Switch.
I mean, that's the weird thing about the Switch is that it can kind of do everything, but not greatly.
Yeah.
You know?
Jack of all trades.
It's like a master of none, exactly.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I mean, I would just like to see more like Japanese only releases that kind of only make it over to the US via 3DS anymore. And I feel like there's a lot of them. Like SMT4 was obviously a big one for the 3DS, and I feel like an SMT Shin Megami Tensei, it's part of the Persona. Well, actually, the Persona series is part of the SMT series. SMT is just the broader Atlas kind of name for most of their games.
So, I've got a bit of a weird one, and I know people won't really agree. I would love to see Pokemon.
It's got to happen. That's the next big thing.
Yeah, so they're talking about doing what's it called? Pokemon Stars, I think. It's going to be like the Sun Moon combo, the ones that just came out for the 3DS. I have Sun on my 3DS. I'm not like nuts about the idea of just, you know, getting another one of those, because they almost felt like reboots of the series in a weird way, and I can't really explain why that is, but
I don't see. I don't know if they release something that's kind of like both of them, or I think that's a terrible mistake because it's not going to show off what the Switch has to offer compared to a 3DS.
Yeah,
and I think that is a huge mistake.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Sure, you can add something to the game, right?
Why are they? I don't understand. I don't understand.
What is this guy yelling about? You hear this?
No, I don't have voices on, but they just murdered me.
Why?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Yeah, it'd be nice if we knew a bit more about this game. But that's fine. Yeah. So
are you infected?
Yeah, I am infected.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows you're a monster.
Pokemon.
They wanted me to shoot you, and it would have vote kicked you from the game.
But why? Like, what did I do?
But then I didn't shoot you.
Yeah. Pokemon's definitely like the big one, you know, that I want to see.
Is it really the biggest one? I don't.
What else though, you know?
I can't wait for the Mario game, but I'm a sucker for Mario.
The genre, or not the genre, the setting of it is so odd though, you know.
Are you kidding me? It's like Sonic Adventure.
I know, but which seems weird for a Mario game.
No.
Next time I die, you
die.
should probably just shoot me.
Cool.
So it doesn't seem like you're cheating or whatever. Can I? I can't actually.
No, actually the lights came off at like the perfect time, so I just acted like I need to run away. Now you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to get the new Mario. But that's all I had to say. I just wanted to know if there's anything you thought would be right for the Switch.
I mean, there's a lot of Sega games that were going to be nice. And I really hope this doesn't happen, but what it's looking like, oh god. What it's looking like, what's probably going to happen, unfortunately, almost, is that we're going to get the same Wii U treatment, which is a bunch of games that already exist ported over to the Wii, to the Switch, just like the Wii U.
Yeah. Well, the Switch already beats the Wii U because it got a Zelda title.
The Wii U does too.
No, it did not have a unique Zelda title. Because Twilight Princess came out for the Wii, and then Wii U got like HD remakes of Ocarina and Majora's. You don't think the Switch will have Star Fox? You don't think Switch will have Star Fox?
It will be ported over, which I'm again like not really
I can see them
looking
making
forward
a new
to.
one.
The only benefit to me that I think honestly that the Switch has over any other console is that it's right around the same power as the Wii U, maybe a little bit more, you know. But most importantly to me is that it's letting Nintendo developers finish a game like 3 times as fast. So
Yeah.
we should see games start to get made real fast. The Wii U was a mistake. It was a mistake to put 3 Wii CPU cores into a single unit and then try to like pass it off like it was its own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It sounded really cool, but then again, like, mistakes were made.
Yeah. So this one's related, but still slightly different. What game do you want a sequel for? One that isn't announced or in discussions for a sequel, one that you strictly want.
For me, I would love to see Dark Cloud 3.
Okay. Are you worried? So one thing to consider is, like, if they screw it up, right? Yeah.
I don't think level 5, I don't think they'd screw it up. It might, even if it's worse, it couldn't possibly be, like, worse than White Knight Chronicles, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Who's the developer for Dark Cloud? I don't remember.
Level 5.
Level 5. I was gonna say Team 5 for some reason. Is Level 5 still around?
Yeah, they're still making games, and every couple of years they have a rumor out that they're gonna make a sequel, and that it just for some reason never happened.
Okay. My game is Demon Souls, which I fully recognize will never happen because Atlas owns the IP, and now Namco Bandai does all the publishing for the Souls games. But I would love a sequel to Demon Souls so much.
Does Namco Bandai own the company that makes the Souls games?
I don't know if they own From Software. All I know is that they do the publishing.
You should find that out, because it could very realistically still happen.
No, because Atlas owns the Demon Souls IP.
Yeah, that's why I think it's still possible.
How is it still possible?
Because Atlas publishes games, and From Software, if it's not owned by anything.
I don't think they'd leave Namco Bandai though.
I mean, it's not about leaving. That happens all the time in the gaming industry, where one developer says, "Yeah, you know what? I've made for this, and I'm going to make for this." And unless Namco Bandai is just hooking them up with a sick deal,
I mean, after 4
Atlas,
massively successful games,
Atlas is big enough now. And I think it's kind of an affront to Atlas when they dropped Atlas, right? Because I feel like your game got popular because it was ported over from Japan to the English market by Atlas. You know?
Well, I don't know the circumstances of that, admittedly. But
I mean, I don't know them too well, but I at least know that.
Yeah.
Tell me up front, are you infected?
I am not infected.
Fuck, we're both not infected.
Oh, that's a good thing.
But I don't think Demon Souls, I don't think it would be too much different than like another Dark Souls, you know?
So the reason I like Demon Souls so much is it feels a lot more atmospheric to me than Dark Souls did. Dark Souls lost a little bit of that. And so
it had better combat.
It did. But the combat can be brought over. The atmosphere being lost is a bit harder. At least I feel. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Shooting. Why are you shooting?
I don't know.
Just took a picture of you.
Alright, here's the thing, right? Good. Shorty, why are you running?
What? I don't know what this man's doing. You just keep blinding him. I don't know what he's saying to me.
Alright, let's move along, folks.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Demon Souls is like the one thing that I would have loved a sequel to. But it's never gonna happen, unfortunately. I had another one, but I can't quite remember it. Oh dear. Oh, I'd love another Warcraft, but that ship's kind of sailed.
All right.
Are there any other games that you wanted a sequel to?
I want an actual sequel to Dark Souls. I want an actual sequel to Mass Effect.
What was Mass Effect 2 not to your liking?
I loved Mass Effect 2, but I just feel like Mass Effect was way more of an RPG.
Okay. I found a camera.
So you don't count 2 or 3 as good sequels?
They're not Mass Effect to me. Like they don't get me wrong. The story is still Mass Effect. It's not as much story. The gameplay is way improved, right? But it's similar to your what you're saying, right?
Right. You lost a little bit of the feel.
It became less RPG and more action.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's fair. But maybe Andromeda will rectify that for you.
It's definitely possible, but unlikely.
Yeah, it looks a bit more combat oriented than anything else.
Yeah.
But just keep taking pictures of this guy.
I'm going to track this one.
So next on the agenda, you wanted to talk about Jim Sterling, specifically Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. I think it would be a good topic for, just a few moments.
So I did not watch his review of Breath of the Wild, so why don't you walk me through a little bit of it?
Well, here's the thing. Either did I, but I saw the reactions.
Right, I did see the reactions as well.
And my opinion is that Jim Sterling is a giant fucking twat.
Yes,
I mean, I agree. Fucking shit.
Well,
I fucking hate him. He's right. Fucking retarded.
Maybe we're not on the same page.
He might want to fucking die. Like it might be good for him. But with all that said, you shouldn't be threatening his life.
Yeah. Because
of reviews. And also, it's probably true. I mean, no game is perfect. And if you're properly being if we were to do proper reviews, who knows? Maybe Breath of the Wild should get a 7 out of 10. If 7 means like it's good and not like it's great or it's amazing, which I think it's amazing, like groundbreaking, should be reserved for only 10 out of 10s. Like to where it made you feel a feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I've played it quite extensively. I think I'm at 60 or 70 hours at this point.
Yeah.
I'd give it like an 8, maybe a 9. I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. It has its flaws. 7 feels a bit low to me, but I mean,
it's his personal opinion.
Yeah, no, it's perfectly valid.
But I still fully believe that he is a giant piece of shit.
Yeah.
He is like everything that is wrong with the left right now, in that like SJW, like he's such an SJW, and not in a good way. Although there aren't many good SJW ways to be.
Yeah. Well, I watched his follow-up video after.
Interesting.
And it was partially sort of marking down more that there's a durability system, and partially like, listen, motherfuckers, I gave it a 7 out of 10. It's a good game. I said it was a good game. Why are you so upset?
I don't like durability systems. I think it's one of the flaws in Dark Cloud and 2. Well, especially Dark Cloud, because in that system your shit can just break forever.
Yeah.
While in Dark Cloud 2, the durability system is more like your shit's broken. Now you have to spend more to fix it.
So I'm okay with durability systems, but it depends on how much durability you get and to the extent that it sort of permeates into the game.
Yeah. True.
Breath of the Wild's the durability's too low, like straight up, way too low. And you
could have played it on an easier mode, probably.
I don't think there's a difficulty. They're releasing a hard mode with the DLC, but as it stands, I think there was
does the
one.
DLC cost money?
Yeah, it costs money, like every DLC.
Fucking ridiculous. For a hard mode, I feel like in a lot of games that was already added.
Well, the hard mode's not like the only piece of the DLC; it's just rolled in.
Okay. Well, that's still dumb. Maybe it'll be like separate, and then like during a patch, and then DLC. But okay, here's my deal, right? And this is completely kind of off topic, but on the same subject as difficulty levels. Difficulty levels. What is up with difficulty levels, man?
Help me out here. What are you talking about?
How many games did you actually feel like from easy to medium to hard that it changed anything to do with the actual difficulty of the game?
So it depends on what you mean by the actual difficulty of the game.
Okay. Call of Duty, right? You increase the difficulty level, what happens?
Enemies
have
become
less
more
health.
accurate. They
You have
lob
less
more
health.
grenades.
Hold on. You have less health. They might lob more grenades and
they
be more
definitely
accurate.
lob
Right?
more
But
grenades.
here's the thing.
Specifically
You can still just run around like an idiot until you regen your health.
No, in veteran you cannot.
Alright, well I don't know, but like the first 4 difficulty levels.
There's only 4 difficulties.
I don't know. Well, it seems ridiculous to me. It seems like no matter what difficulty level you have it at, it's just kind of
So
more
the first 2 difficulties are very much like that. Hardened, you can still sprint around a bit, but you can't you can't be out of cover forever. And then veteran, if you are not behind cover, you're dead, basically.
Yeah, but if anything, I don't know. It just seems to me like the higher difficulty level in a lot of games just makes it so, hey, look, I have to stay behind cover longer to wait for my health to regen.
Yeah. Call of Duty,
Right.
I'm okay with the difficulty system.
You know what I think has a good difficulty system?
What's that?
I think Halo.
Halo does have a good... I mean, Call of Duty's pretty similar to
and-
Halo.
Well, here's the thing. Halo had a good difficulty setting because with Halo, right, you had this whole thing where if you play at a harder difficulty, you get a different ending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it did definitely make it worthwhile playing through on Legendary.
Yeah. I mean, what's the fucking point of doing it other than for the EP? Now, I don't give a shit about the EP. I don't give a shit about getting my e-boner higher. I just don't care.
I do it for the EP in some cases.
Yeah.
For sure.
I would never do it for the EP. I just died randomly by someone.
So you know what game a game I was very upset with the difficulty setting recently? Digimon World Next Order.
With the what?
The difficulty in Digimon.
Oh, no. There were some serious flaws that made it so it didn't matter.
But there was nothing. You got nothing for playing on normal or hard, whatever it was. And then the fights were just unbearable. Training was a lot harder. It was just unpleasant to play on the harder difficulty. So I just...
But I mean, you got the next or whatever it's called. It just felt like...
Oh, the EXE, Extra Cross Evolution? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have that, you can win.
Yeah, no, for sure. But, it's much harder to train up to Mega. Because of your training numbers are, gutted on the harder difficulty. I'm also, a bit framey right now.
Yeah, this game is kind of weak so far.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other difficulty that I was okay with. I played Kingdom Hearts difficulty. Oh god. And I played Kingdom Hearts on a lot of different difficulties, and I didn't really have any issue with it. It definitely made the game harder, and I felt it was in a
I
kind
think I
of
played
meaningful way.
Kingdom Hearts 2 at the highest difficulty, and that last fight really fucked me up as a kid.
Sort of the comedic thing about Kingdom Hearts 2. If you're not talking the final mix,
No, just the regular Kingdom Hearts.
yeah.
It's not even the hardest.
The hardest difficulty was actually a lot easier than was in previous games.
Yeah.
And so much so that in Final Mix they had to release, rather than Proud, they released a new hardest difficulty, Critical, to sort of make up for Proud not being hard enough.
Still, that final boss fucked me up because I just felt like the whole game was a cakewalk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really prepare because the whole game just kind of had like a smooth, like slowly elevated difficulty level that made sense. I mean, I didn't think it was bad,
Yeah.
you know? And then all of a sudden it just went fucking like crazy. Are
Yeah,
you dead too?
Definitely.
You are dead?
I am, yes, yeah.
It's funny. Whoever's alive, like, they played it like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they acted like they're a team killer, but very clearly they're the infected.
Yeah. Well, we're at 31 minutes, and we've run out of topics, so let's talk about what we want to talk about.
Awesome. So, okay. Pouring the cereal
Yep.
into the bowl before or after the milk has been poured.
All right, before I get into this, tell me what you do.
Okay, so since I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
I've always put the cereal in first and then the milk.
Okay. That's good.
However,
Oh, no.
recently I've found that pouring the milk in first leads to a no-mess solution, and also the cereal is crunchier and better.
First off, that's not okay. And second off, what do you mean by a no-mess solution?
I mean, that as a kid, I would pour the cereal into the bowl,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would pour the milk into the bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And this would create a feedback loop until cereal or milk came out of the bowl.
So, you're blaming the correct method of preparing cereal for you being an animal.
I mean, you're an animal too. We're all animals here.
But you're especially an animal.
Anyway.
How? I don't understand. Like, you put the milk in first. How are you getting the right amount of milk?
What do you mean?
Are you just pouring
I
in
like
cereal
milk,
until-
so if there's extra milk, I specifically get whole milk, which is on to the next subject, which is what is your favorite type of milk?
I don't particularly care as long as it's not skim.
I can respect that.
But I generally buy 2%, and I think it's just because that's what my parents bought.
You know, I went to 2%, and I don't think there is like a 50%. I think half and half is like half butter, right?
I don't know. Half cream.
But anyway, I have completely switched for like the last 4 years. I only do whole milk,
Okay.
and I just find it to be more rich and tasty, and I don't need as much to get my milk fix on, you know.
Yeah.
And it also like fills you up faster.
Here's
I don't
another
know.
thing. Do you just drink a glass of milk at times?
Okay, if I get a craving for a glass of milk, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have to have a little bit of chocolate with it.
Sure.
That's my
Okay.
personal method, or a sweet, right? Something like a muffin or a donut or something, and then I can drink the whole thing of milk, like no problem. But if
Yeah.
I just have milk all by itself, it has to be whole milk, which is why I have whole milk. And I have to like really, really be in the mood for it. I will go out of my way to get something like a Pop-Tart you have with that milk,
Yeah.
or resorting to just having a glass of milk.
So, at this house, right, Alaric and Megan both drink glasses of milk. And I also am just A-okay.
Did you drink blood?
I might have, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also okay with drinking glasses of milk. But for whatever reason, Robert and Kelsey are like, oh, no, that's not okay. You shouldn't just drink a glass of milk. That's super weird. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's a drink.
What? Hold on. I want to get their opinions on this. I want to know.
Can you show me?
Personally,
Uh-huh.
I think that if you're against like just a glass of milk, it's because growing up you had shitty milk.
I think they just think it's weird for some reason. Like, I mean, I don't
Drink
get
this.
it.
Drink
right?
this blood. There's no one here to see. Oh wait, no. Now there is. Now there is.
Yeah, I mean, they already know that I'm bad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get why they're so not okay with this drinking a glass of milk thing. It's very weird to me that they were so adamantly against it.
Huh?
But yeah, I mean, it's a thing, I think.
I think if you had like shitty 2% or like skim, then yeah, you wouldn't want just a glass of milk. But I think that's partially the reason why milk has kind of fallen off is because people want like shitty milk.
Yeah, fuck, I killed myself. Yeah, I don't know. I like milk. I think it's weird. That you just bringing that up, the cereal thing. So I think of that. I think I'm dead. I think I died.
You're like standing up right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck. Oh, okay, there we go. Is there anything else you had to say about breakfast, or was that literally your only breakfast topic?
And then I want to know what people's obsession is with bacon.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean it's a good treat. I enjoy the taste of the bacon. It's crispy.
I'm dead.
You know? But is it really like that amazing? That's my question.
So
I mean,
here's my
does it
thing with
really
bacon.
deserve its reputation?
It's not filling enough, and people tend to overcook it.
I agree with that.
Like, I'm not even knocking like crispy bacon. My family eats it crispy like all the time. I can have it either way, but like a lot of the time, people will just char it, and to the point that you're like
Yeah.
eating like this crumbly plastic more than
They think that's okay.
yeah. No, I mean bacon is not my meat of choice. And in the breakfast, I tend to go for what's going to be more filling. So usually I'll actually go for like sausage links.
Dude, this guy just keeps like calling out your name in the most obnoxious Asian accent.
I'm already dead though.
I wonder whether it's real or not, you know.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's just weird. So bacon is like probably like a lot of people. If you ask them like, "What's your favorite meat?" People will be like, "Oh, bacon. Bacon's so good. Bacon." What would be your favorite meat?
I mean, steak, easily.
Okay, what cut of steak do you have? Because I'm glad you said steak. It's
I
important.
like all cuts of steak, but
Wait,
you know
what-
the shittiest cut of steak is still very good for me.
Right, that's fine. But I mean, you go to a restaurant. How do you determine what steak you
New
want?
York strip.
You go for the New York strip.
I have to choose. I don't particularly like the fatty content in
Okay.
other, but I feel like the New York strip is like a good balance of like price per performance of food.
Yeah. So the New York strip is a good one. I see a lot of people getting sirloin, which is a very lean steak. There's like almost no fat.
Yeah,
Not
which
a fan.
I enjoy. But here's the thing, T-bone. What's your opinion?
I like a good T-bone.
See, really, I don't like the fact that like I have to cut it. You know
But
what I
here's
mean?
the thing about the T-bone. On the other side, you're getting that that little bit of tenderloin, and that's right.
I don't know.
Tenderloin is delicious. So
And
I
that
worked
depends
in
on how much they give you. You know what I mean?
I mean that's gonna happen. But I worked in a meat department for 6 months. I think you knew that. And so
I don't know.
I worked with steaks and stuff, and day in and day out. And let me tell you, the best steak cut for me, the ribeye.
Interesting.
You get that beautiful marbling. It's a delicious steak. And actually, more importantly, how do you have your steak cooked? Hello?
I just finished the game and won.
Okay.
So anyway,
How do you have
mean-
your steak cooked?
medium rare.
Okay, that's respectable. My family, they're big medium rare people, and to the point
Yeah.
where like the steak comes out medium or rare, they'll send it back to be either cooked
Oh,
longer
God.
or redone, which is not
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's inappropriate.
However, I'm a rare guy myself.
Really, you like to go blue,
Did you say blue?
basically. That's what it's called. Like, really rare. It's called blue.
I mean, you do get some of that, but I mean, the perfect rare is like just barely seared, but still nice and red throughout, and bleeding.
Yeah, I mean, I can see your point. I like rare every once in a while. But to be honest, sometimes, like, I want, medium, too. So
Medium,
I feel like
really?
medium rare is, like, the perfect. Yeah, medium sometimes is acceptable.
Okay,
But,
that's true.
but it just depends on what I'm into at the moment. Do I want that, like, juicy thing, or do I want it to be more, like, almost crispy?
Yeah. So here's
I
the
go
thing.
ham.
I moved into this house. We talked about steak. Megan's like, I'm not that crazy about steak. I'm like, fucking excuse me? What do you mean you're not that crazy about steak? I'm like, how have you had steak? And she's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, describe it to me.
Okay.
What color is it inside? And all that. She describes what is a well done steak.
Oh, no.
And I was like, you haven't had steak. What do you mean? What? And I was like, we're going to Outback Steakhouse. You're
Okay.
going to get a New York strip, and we're going to have steak. And so it comes around, and I get this delicious ribeye done rare, and Robert gets a ribeye done medium rare. Or Robert ordered first, and I ordered, and Megan ordered after me. And I was a little worried she was going to say rare, and she's like medium rare, and I was like, that's good. That's good. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You're not going to handle rare.
This is one
And,
I know.
Yeah, it was just so shocking because how anyone can think that well done is a steak. I don't know. It's not a steak. That's just a bit of
Yeah,
leather
no.
on a plate.
Kind of, yeah.
It was crazy. And she's also never had chili except for out of a can. And I was like, oh,
Wait, really?
yeah.
Where did, like, why?
I don't
Who are
know.
these people?
I don't know. Like, the reason she cited was like, I think it was like family's poor or whatever. And like, my family was poor. They didn't try to pass off leather as steak.
No, it can't be because of that.
I don't really know what
Oh,
I
God.
just did.
The game just crashed. It was awesome.
Nice. I
Did
just
your
took a
game
picture of
crash?
you. My game did
Yeah,
not crash.
you crashed me when you took a picture.
No, I took it after you said you crashed.
I'm armored up.
But anyway, no, I mean, that's a serious problem. But here's the thing, though. I'm pretty sure my
Deploying tracker.
my stepdad tried that a few times, where he would
Yeah.
just burn the fuck out of the steak. And I didn't like steak as a kid. It wasn't until I actually moved out and started cooking it myself that I enjoyed steak.
Yeah. Is your stepdad like actually a good cook?
It depends. Like, there's some things that are like, that was fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of soups.
Mhm.
And then when it comes to like steak and stuff, I mean, it's just so overcooked that it's not edible anymore.
So I had
It's
one
like-
meal
Eating a, well,
at your house,
yeah,
and it was like this clam thing or something like that,
possible.
or oysters. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was some type of seafood. It was not good, like at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, I ate
That's
it, and I was like, yeah, thanks.
You
It's
can't,
good.
can't tell him it's not good.
No.
It's rude, and he'll also just be like super offended.
It's
I told
rude,
him
and like
what-
Terry's a mildly terrifying person.
Yeah, I told him that I didn't like some of his food,
Mhm.
and then he actually went out of his way to like make food that I really liked, like chili. It was
Okay.
like incredibly good, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I was not expecting that.
So
I
here's
was
the thing about
expecting
chili,
my
though.
ass
Like, it's easy to make good chili.
No, I think Grandma always fucked up chili.
Do you?
Yeah, her chili was fucking
I don't remember
phenomenally shitty.
Grandma's chili.
And even Grandpa's to an extent was like
I liked
it was
Grandpa's.
more soup than it was.
Yeah.
It was more soup than anything. There was just tons of beans and like no food in it. I mean, beans are food, but there was no like meat in it.
So I make
most of the time.
a heavy bean chili, but I also add like 2 pounds of hamburger. So
No, hamburger's not the way to go.
what meat do you want then?
I want steak in my chili.
Okay, but like I'm not gonna buy steak to make, because I'll make a huge pot of chili.
Listen. This is how you do it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You buy the beef chuck or whatever, right?
Right.
The
that's
cheaper meat. I mean, it's only like $6, right?
hamburger, but sure.
And then you cut that.
That's hamburger.
I mean, it's not in the hamburger format, which is inferior in every way.
Are
Like,
you talking
when
about chuck
you-
roast?
No, like chuck, like ready to be in soup almost.
Having a hard time picturing what you're talking about.
Okay, exactly.
I don't think there's a chuck steak.
There is.
Is there?
Lay down.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised since chuck is just a grade.
That bitch. Stay down.
Anyway, you get yourself some chuck steak, right?
Right.
It's literally like people like. There's nothing wrong with chuck steak. People over like
No,
"Eh,
it's fine.
bad.
It's more
Yeah.
flavorful because it's fattier.
Yeah, it's not a bad cut of meat. It
No, it's
really
fine.
isn't. There's really no cut of meat on a cow that I wouldn't eat. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let it go to waste. But anyway, so you buy that and you cut it into very, very, unless it's already cut, which is even better. But you cut them into like cubes, right? And then you add that to your chili, and fucking shit is phenomenal. It's like the best thing you've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, I can get down with that.
I mean, you gotta make sure. Here's the big thing with me in chili is chili has to be like when you put a spoon in it, if it moves, it's not good chili. Like it's got to be thick.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Like thick. The thicker the chili, the better the chili will be.
Talking like thick with 4
Like
C's.
I
I said you're talking like thick with 4 C's.
I'm talking TIHICCC.
TIHI? Tick.
Thick.
You like that tick chili? Excuse me.
Stew meat, you know? I mean, it comes from the butt, but it's very nice.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, definitely not.
And again, rump roast, not bad at all.
No. See, that's the thing. People are always like, you gotta get that lean meat. And they're like, oh, this doesn't taste very good. It's like, you didn't get any fat in this. What do you mean? Like, what do you think you do?
And the big thing is, and this is mostly pointed at American culture, there was such a negativity towards fat, as if eating fat made you fat, that it caused like all sorts of problems. And it's actually the reason. I've like looked into it, and it's not the reason, but it's a major reason that people in the United States are overweight when compared to other regions of the world. Because
what is this?
Because they substituted fat with other random things. So like cookies, for example, they took all the fat out of the cookies and replaced it with like gelatin, and they replaced it with more sugar and things like that, things of those natures. And you know, you're technically not allowed to call it corn sugar, but corn sugar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not real sugar. And because of that, people got fat, because who would have known that carbohydrates and sugar?
Oh, did you game crash?
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
When carbohydrates and sugar are the only thing you're fucking eating, that you get fucking fat.
Yeah.
But if you eat fat, I mean, it's crazy. It's like these people, like when these, I don't think there was ever a study that actually proved it, but the idea was just always there in popular belief that, like when you get fat, it's because you ate too much fat.
Yeah.
Like, how stupid is that? That would be like, oh, I've been putting the wrong gasoline in my car. It's working. You can't even like come up with something that, like, no, the input does not equal the output. Like, that's crazy talk.
Yeah.
I don't get these fucking people, but it's still a major thing where people are like, "Oh, can't have the fat in this food," and they'll like purposely buy another food and then get fat, and then they'll be like, "Oh well, it's genetic."
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, it's because you were taught wrong and refused to believe that you were taught wrong. And this is coming from someone who's not like super physical or underweight, who's pretty, I would say, a little above average in weight, and even I know this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the number one thing along with that is, you know, our obsession with pops and salty pops.
Yeah. And I mean,
It's a whole other thing.
I've been guilty of that, and I'm definitely
Dude,
drinking
when I was
less
like
now.
when I was like 14 and 15, I had 4 or 5 Cokes a day, like minimum. And that shit like wreaked havoc on my body. And then the minute I stopped, it all went away. Like that. Like almost all of my issues, which is crazy. Weight issues, health issues, all just started going away. And it's not like, you know, pop is inherently bad. It's simply inherently bad when you have a fucking ton of it.
Yeah. Everything in moderation.
Yeah, exactly. Breakfast. Eggs aren't really that great.
Eh,
They're kind of overrated.
I like French toast.
But eggs by themselves, I mean,
Yeah, no.
we just talk about how people are obsessed with eggs. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. Health-wise, they're fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But they taste like rubber to me. It tastes like eating rubber.
I've actually, you know, it's weird. Speaking of weird tastes, I don't like the taste of just plain water.
Mm.
And people are always like, water doesn't have a taste. It does.
Oh, it totally does.
It's not
I
that
can.
good.
Let me put it this way: I can tell you the difference, whether water is tap water from where I'm currently living, whether it's tap water from. Toledo has a distinctive taste as well.
Yeah.
Lansing, Michigan has amazing tap water where I could actually drink it like just right out of the tap. And then bottled water. I cannot stand stream water. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Mountain Spring, to me, tastes like fucking dirt. It tastes so bad.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, like a Dasani or Aquafina, I have no problems with. I don't think they're bad, but I don't like have a positive feel with them. Like any purified water, I tend to like way more than any other.
Yeah, so I don't mean this is a type of water thing. I mean, this is a consistent thing. I don't like the taste of water.
You should try different waters.
I
mean,
have tried many different waters.
What's your favorite that doesn't taste bad?
Purified is like the closest to neutral, but it's still like a slightly negative taste.
Could it be the case that is put in?
I mean, I've
Maybe
had
the
a lot of
plastic?
different purified waters.
Have you had like Voss?
I have not had Voss.
You might be tasting the plastic, and you might want to give Voss in the glass a try. They're
But
like
I mean,
$3 a
I've had,
bottle.
like-
They're very expensive, but
I've had, you know, the whole... I have filter water. Like, at the house, we have filter water.
not that great.
No, I mean, no water is that great, is my point.
No, I mean, here's your problem, right? Your problem is you've had pop and teas and all this other
I
shit,
don't
right?
drink tea.
That you haven't had good tea. Now, I'm not getting into a
teas
tea
as well.
debate with you. Yeah, and you've still not had good tea, similar to how Megan has had a lot of steaks. Now, here's my deal, right?
I'll fight you on this tea thing. I don't like the taste of tea.
I guarantee you, if my girlfriend made you some tea, you would be like, shit, that's
I would
fucking
spit it
amazing.
in her face.
I doubt it. No, it wouldn't happen. Now listen, all right? Tea aside, you have all these things that are blasted with sugar, blasted with corn sugar, etc. They fuck up your taste buds. If you go without pop for like 2 weeks
Which I have.
and you drink water,
And I still didn't like it.
and then you drink Coke or something, you're like, "Yeah, Coke" at first, and then later you're like,
I
"Oh
already like
shit."
that with Coke.
But you know what I mean.
But
Like
I
any drink.
I haven't had soda. Well, except for this root beer now. But before that, I
Oh,
hadn't
really?
had soda in like 2 months.
Yeah, but you had some other shit.
Coffee.
Yeah, coffee. Do you have any cream or anything in it at all?
Like a little creamer. No sugar.
I can go with no sugar as long as there's creamer, but there gotta be creamer. I love cream.
I put
I
just
love
like
milk, whole
literally a
milk.
little bit. Like the coffee's still brown.
Yeah, I like mine to be kind of tannish,
Yeah.
but I like creamer. A lot of the times when I go into work, the coffee's free, so like a ton of coffee with all the ingredients you'd want. And every once in a while, they'll fuck up sugar and artificial sweetener, and I will fucking kill them. It tastes like drinking goddamn poison. Like artificial sweetener is poison to me. It lingers in my mouth for like 30 minutes. This fucking nasty ass bitter taste. I can't stand it. I guess some people don't taste the bitter end, but to me, I taste the sugar. Don't get me wrong, but then there's this overwhelming flavor of like, you just drank poison. You fucking idiot. That like legitimately, my brain is telling me I just drank poison, so I can't drink it. Are all artificial sweeteners save sugar-free Haribo gummy bears?
Yeah. But anyway, so my point is, your idea that my taste of water is tainted
Yeah, it
doesn't
is.
hold water.
It does.
No, because
You still have coffee.
I drink my coffee
Which is-
bitter as shit.
Yeah, which you might just like the taste of something bitter.
Oh, so like I don't like the taste of water? That's crazy. It's almost like it was my
No.
point.
Stop drinking coffee. Stop drinking literally anything but water for like 2 weeks.
I don't think
I
this
don't
is
think
going to
you've
have
done
the
that.
effect you think it will.
I don't know.
Because
You'd have to
you've
find
just
out.
been hopping points. You were like, oh, you need to try the right kind of water. Try a lot of kinds of water. It's like, oh, it's the other stuff you install the soda you're drinking. I'm
There's
like,
a
I don't
ton
drink
of
soda
different-
anymore.
That's my point. There's a ton of different points to be made against you. You're not right just because you say you're right. That's
I
all I'm
don't.
saying.
I think you just assume it's not possible for me to like not like water.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you might like. You won't dislike it.
I don't like actively dislike it. It's just there is a taste to it that I'm like, ugh.
Sometimes the water you guys had was like bitter.
Oh, our water was
It's
terrible.
The jug water. Fuck. I'd go over there and I'd be like, oh yeah, some jug water, and then it would be like you drink it, and then the aftertaste of like, it wouldn't be crazy bitter, but it would be like this really chemically bitter. Like
At least it was better than the well water.
that's true. That was onion water and egg water.
Yeah. But I mean, like I've just never liked it. There's always been that little taste of just like, ugh. People get similarly up in arms when I told them I don't like tea. They're like, "Oh, there's no way you don't like tea." I'm like, "Fuck yourself! I don't like tea."
You've not had all the teas.
I will
there
spit
are
it in
to
your
offer.
girlfriend's face.
Have you ever had bubble tea?
Yes, it's
What
disgusting.
did you think of bubble tea?
It's gross.
All right, I fucking hate bubble tea
Why would I
just
like
because
eat tapioca while I'm drinking tea?
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people. But here's the thing, right? Like my problem with bubble tea is that like when you drink it and it goes up the straw, like the suction is fucking weird and I hate it.
My
I don't
problem
know.
with bubble tea is the tea.
Not when you like load it with honey and it actually is just milk.
I've
like,
had,
in
I've
your
had
tea,
tea with honey.
but
as
it's
well.
still called. No, like it's literally just milk and honey like mixed, along with bubbles.
No. I've
No, like barely like the amount
Yeah,
of
no,
tea that's
'cause
is like non-existent.
my
It's
grandma
literally-
on my mother's side, we used to do this like occasionally when we lived with her, because we lived with her for a year. At
Yeah.
lunchtime, sometimes she'd do tea and then make a little like snack cake or something to eat with it. And I'd be like, "Grandma, I don't like tea." And she's like, "Too bad, fucking drink the tea." So I just load it with honey, and it's still like, "Oh, like this is tea." hidden behind half a jar of honey.
And yet you drank it.
Yeah, because I had to.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I didn't. It reminded me of a certain other cup of something I had to drink.
Did you add honey to that?
No.
Sugar? Do we
You
add
didn't
sugar?
add shit to it. What do you mean? You're the one who made it.
Dude, you were old enough to start adding shit
Are you
yourself.
actually fucking yourself right now?
You couldn't have added sugar
I
and
was
shit?
like 6.
Yeah, I was adding shit to my drinks if it didn't taste good.
Yeah,
I
you
was
made
like,
the drink
fuck.
and you were just like, drink it. You weren't like, add
Yeah,
whatever
I
you want
didn't
and then
drink
drink it.
any of it. Yeah, I didn't drink. To be fair, I didn't drink that at all. I
Yeah.
just kind of gave it to you and like,
Yeah,
here,
you weren't
have
like,
this.
here's your cup of coffee, drink it at your leisure, make it however you want. You were like, fucking down the hatch.
Maybe that cured your autism.
Cured by what?
Your autism.
I mean, so you're
That's the
acknowledging that
cure.
I don't have autism? Checkmate.
No, it only did it for like a week. Maybe it's just because you're so tired.
Well, we're at a full hour now.
We're done.
We're good.
I believe so.
This
Were you
was-
still
this was a weird
playing?
one. No, I was just sitting at the lobby for like the last 15 minutes.
Awesome.
This was a weird one. This game is bad.
Yeah, it's not-
mostly because we don't understand it. But
I wish you would have paid for this game and not me.
I offered. It was just too little, too late.
Yeah, I was like, I already bought this game. Like, oh. Yeah, I feel like this game would be fun if you, like,
Knew it.
yeah, or like, I guess we didn't play the tutorial, so we really can't, like,
Yeah, that's true.
complain.
It's on us.
But if a game doesn't have, I mean, if a game has a tutorial, fuck the tutorial, like, every time, to be fair.
But the thing is, it's like the thing, which we enjoy.
Yeah. But you can't, like, I don't know. It's shitty.
I think they're just, we don't know the spot checks, so every time we were the infected, we just got destroyed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
True.
in time we'll come to understand it if we ever play it again.
Yeah.
Hope
If
about that.
we can do it on a re-encountered
That's true.
episode.
Yeah, I mean, do we want to make a video talking about that, or just talk about it right now? Or do we just want to just do it?
I think we should just do it.
Okay, so no explaining
And-
video. I mean, it'll still be at the end
I
of
mean,
this video because I'm not going
Here,
to.
allow me to experience, or to tell you the experience that is re-encountered.
Well, counterattack is the first one coming.
Yeah. Re-encountered.
Why are you talking about re-encountered?
Because we will come back to
That's
this
3 weeks
game.
away, though.
Yeah, but we will come back to this game someday, like a year from now.
All right.
It will be like, all right, here were our thoughts before we started playing this again, and here are our thoughts after. Has it changed? And it'll be no.
Probably not.
This game is shit. It's just as shitty as I remember. And this has mostly positive reviews.
I could see it being like a fun party game, but
Yeah, no, I couldn't, because you'd need to have a LAN party with 6 people.
well, I mean, you could even just like party up and play.
This might be a fun game for the Switch.
Yeah, sure. But anyway, thanks for watching.
And fuck you.
We'll see you all next week. But this video will go up on Tuesday. There'll be another video of a different series coming up Friday or Saturday, depending on when we record it.
It's gonna be special.
It won't be the same format as this. Hopefully it'll be interesting still, but it'll be more focal on the game rather than our sort of disjointed topics. So hopefully it'll be good.
It'll be great. It'll be. Listen, people have told me it's the greatest.
Yeah, people have told me it's the greatest. Let's see you next time, and bye.